All right, back. Good morning, DJ. I don't know what episode it is. Probably
10,
9 or
it's
something.
10.
10. Shit.
Yeah.
There's a weird stat on podcasts or like segments that 99% of them finish at episode 4. So we're doing all right there. Bit of consistency. But yeah, Alex is away. God knows what he's getting up to at Glastonbury, and
Yeah, I'm a bit jealous.
kind of jealous. This is the first time you haven't been in a while, isn't it?
Yeah, I think so. I thought it'd be all right, but then I saw like a couple of videos last night, and I was like, shit, should have just left my girlfriend behind.
FOMO is real.
Yeah,
FOMO is real.
Left my girlfriend at home and just gone myself. She'd have been thrilled.
It's if you start watching it on the weekend and you're just like, oh god, what am I doing? What's that? But, anyway, so a couple of prices and flows. So Bitcoin, yes, up 30k, hovering around 30k mark, up like 4.2% on the last 24 hours. ETH 1909, up around 5.3%. Total market cap 1.2 trillion. Binance inflows up 200 million in the last 24 hours, which is always a good sign. Only problem is fear and greed index has started to creep up to 65, up 10% in the last 24 hours, right into kind of a local kind of resistance, as is always the case. Is there anything that stands out there for you?
No, it's sort of like, do we hold this area and like get a continuation up? And I guess from before it was, in terms of like the position of Bitcoin, I was always, when I'd looked and into it, I was like, when we get above 30, which sort of plays in the hands of what you're saying there as well. When we get above 30, it may be time to bid, but I think I'm just going to wait it out and see if we hold it in the first place anyway.
Yes, for me, like there's definitely no bidding. Like if anything, I've taken a little bit off from buying the past week. I don't know when we said that. It was literally the most Bitcoin I've ever had in
it was Tuesday. So in terms of
it feels like it's been like a month. It feels like this week's been like a month or something. But no, I've taken a little bit off. I'm happy to. It's a funny one because I'm happy to buy in higher as long as we clear that level.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, which is probably where my head's at really. Otherwise,
it's been sensible.
Yeah. Well, like
balls long into resistance.
Well, do you know what? I literally have my plan set out all the time, and like that's what happened to me last time. I stuck to my plan, and then I got caught. No way down.
We had that Libra trade, and like nobody should be getting like 8x's in this. Well, maybe this market, but not over the past couple of weeks, and then proceeded to give everything back, barring like 5%.
Don't worry, because I knew the trade was there, and I just missed it altogether, and just cope on all day.
It's better to have loved than lost, than to have not loved at all.
Sometimes I just hate this game.
I know. I don't know why we do it ourselves. So biggest winners. There's a couple of assets, but I think we've both collectively agreed on Bitcoin dominance, just being the absolute. Let me see if I can find that actually. But what are you seeing on that front? What kind of levels are we looking at there? I'll see if I can bring up the chart on that.
I'm drawn. There's like 152% roundabouts, and then there's one. Then there's just like hot air. To be honest, everything above that is complete hot air. So you could see it running for a hell of a little while if it doesn't cool down from here.
Yeah, I mean, we'll get into more charty stuff on the weekly catch up later if anyone wants a bit more in depth stuff on that. But yeah, it just looks good if we can clear that moving average. But yeah, it's probably could start seeing like 58s, maybe like touching wicks to 60 and stuff like that. But you best be looking at alt BTC pairs if you want to play an alt, in my opinion. But again, if you want to hear us chat more about kind of market structure and market moves and charts and things like that, if you religiously watch these 20-minute episodes, then the weekly catch-up might be one for you, because we get a little bit more technical into specific alts and charts and what everything's happening there. But yeah, Bitcoin dominance, biggest winner. What else have I got on this list? Yeah, this doesn't. I mean, how many times do we have to go through the same playbook of fear and greed increasing, even though that's not the be all end all of everything, coming into resistance on the majors, and then Pepe starts to run?
Yeah, like I guess the thesis is it the new sort of Doge for coming into, if we ever get a bull again, and if that was the case, God, you could see it run dramatically. But that's the only big winner in terms of like meme coins at the moment. I've seen there's that Evermoon as well, which I've seen float around, and that seems to be some sort of perpetual buyback and burn sort of scenario with that one.
Super positive.
Apologies, I'm just choking again. But yeah, apart from that, that's all I've seen really in terms of memes that are really running again. So we could see if again does it catch the winds of retail / normies in a bull market again for Pepe, but we're probably a while off from that, aren't we? So
I honestly think you've got some really kind of quote unquote sophisticated traders immediately run into that, as people would have with Doge now. So that's kind of where their attention's laying, and I think that has completely piqued their interest. The only thing is Pepe's at around 600 million market cap. Doge is at around 9.5 billion, which is kind of crazy. So what's that, like 15x?
Yeah, which is still mad that it captures that much in terms of like an MCAP really, even in this market. But then we see that across the board, don't we? When we've discussed it with other like ARB and stuff in the top 10 and what's sat there and the disparity between them two, or them couple of layer twos, etc., and what's happening there. So you never know when you get a bull market what will rise through the ranks and what we'll see in the next couple of years over what we're seeing now, really, and what's sort of fading away with like some, I say like Link, etc. When you see them fade away.
Oh God, not Link.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah, if you use I think Coinmarketcap has like that, technically like a Wayback Machine type thing where you can plug in specific dates and it'll show you effectively the leaderboard. If you go and just roll it back a year, it's one of the reasons I don't hold on to anything for a very long time, because it's just totally different. There's too many moving parts. There's too much. Such an emerging industry. You never know what kind of technology is going to be redundant, or you never know what asset is just going to get inflated to zero effectively. But that ARB point's an interesting one, because it looks like it's the ball's in Optimism's court at the minute. Seems like a lot happening.
I'd seen a bit of info about there was a couple of big wallets, institutional wallets like accumulating ARB at the lows, which again, to be fair, a price point of like $0.9 or whatever it hit isn't a bad price really for like a long-term bet, in my opinion. When you're looking at like over the next couple of years, but yeah, it does seem that Optimism has the limelight at the moment, because even like alts on ARB aren't really moving too much at the moment. So
yeah, I mean, it's market cap at all-time high was 962 million, and it's at 909. So despite price being down, market cap's like,
yeah, it hasn't lost
around 10% off its high. Well, 7.5% off its highs.
Yeah.
That's what I always bang on about, inflation and just
dilution.
You have to kind of protect yourself from that. But
I think it's the biggest thing. I think it's always the biggest thing.
Always.
I think it's like for anyone coming into the space, it's like
you need to learn that first.
Yeah, learn that first, because we've all fallen foul to it. Like unlimited money printing is never a thing.
Yeah, did you see the Chainlink controversy again this week, that they're going to sell like a shit ton of tokens? Why do they keep doing it to themselves? You must have like exited.
I don't know. I've held Link. I managed to get out last year, and I think I sold about $30 in the end.
Oh, that's
so there wasn't a two, like, didn't probably manage to gamble all that away, like, but
Oh yeah.
but yeah, wasn't too bad.
Me and Mike, that was our
We
first.
were
That was our first real, like, apart from like buying shit in 2017 and 18, that's just like at the top. Link was the thing that kind of kept us motivated through 2019, or we probably would have just walked away and never been here now. And we still got like there's probably still a WhatsApp group of me, Mike, and like 5 of our friends in real life called something about Link. Maybe like early retirement Link or something. Yeah. And I'm pretty sure they're still all bag holding.
Yeah, they probably are. I think my little brother is. Poor lad. Yeah.
I need to message them actually and tell them to stop being idiots. So Radix is moving as well. We've been tasked with kind of introducing the first cohort of projects that will be launching on Radix mainnet when that effectively goes live in around 40, 50 days or something. It's not far off, is it?
End of July, yeah.
So yeah, that's, if that gets repriced as a true L1 with smart contract functionality and a lot of applications getting built over there, I think you probably will see that happen. But we'll probably cover that a little bit more close at the date. And if anyone wants to read a little bit more, there's stuff on the website for that. So, is there anything else on that list? Stacks, but we mentioned it. We mentioned it last week, didn't we? Just as a higher.
Yeah. On Tuesday. Your days are
sorry.
You need a whole day. It's all right.
I know, I'm going away tomorrow. So, what other Bitcoin derivatives were moving? Is Litecoin must be doing all right, I can imagine, coming into the halving, and then
just Bitcoin Cash from what I've seen here, but I haven't looked at
the real Bitcoin.
The real Bitcoin, yeah. That's pumped off its lows, so it's up about 35% on the week, which is pretty good, really. But I think that's a no-go for me. I don't think I could bring myself to buy it.
I think there's some remnants in my Coinbase, my original Coinbase account of Bitcoin Cash and XRP and all that shit. So biggest losers, to be fair, when we sorted on CoinGecko for biggest losers, there was like nothing major. Like I think it was like Rocket Pool down 1.1%, and that was the largest price depreciation. So it hasn't been doing, full market hasn't been doing too bad, to be honest. But yeah, there's a bit of news. Do you want to bring up some points and we just riff on them?
Yeah, so I guess, to be honest, I haven't read it in detail, but in terms of Powell speaking, he stated that, well, he dunked on Gary, really, because he said stables are a form of money. Whether they want control over that in terms of the Fed and etc. is another question. But it's sort of like, in terms of the U-turn that we've had with, obviously, Gary trying to take down the world of crypto one company at a time, with this BlackRock ETF, with Powell coming out with stable coins are a form of money, it seems slowly that he's fading into the shadows, like that Homer Simpson where he's just going into the bush.
Yeah. Probably on the wrong side of history. He'll just start pivoting and start going after people who are selling Pokemon cards or something.
He'll have to find something, because I'd like to think that he's not going to be in that job much longer, but we'll see on that one.
He can't be. Can't be. It's like he's been. Can you remember a couple of seasons back where Joey Barton got sent off against Man City?
Yeah.
When Aguero scored that goal that won them the league.
Yeah.
Where he got sent off, so he fucking booted someone as he was walking off the pitch. He like gave someone like a dead leg as he was walking off the pitch, effectively saying, "Well, if I'm going, I'm going to take a few people with me."
Well, I think that's like, yeah, it's sort of like he's a double agent, like for bloody destabilization of like all that side. It's weird. It's such a like oxymoron paradox of what he was saying when he was like a professor or whatever. So it's just, yeah, like say, if we see the back of him, hopefully, fingers crossed, whoever comes in and replaces him isn't any worse.
I bet he gets like, he'll go for Yellen's role, or he'll end up being like an advisor for EDX Exchange or something.
Well, someone's probably got to take the fall if America goes tits up in terms of the dollar. So that might be Yellen.
I think he's going to be an advisor at this new.
He might go to Kazakhstan.
Yeah, he's going to be the advisor in Kazakhstan for Binance. What was that? Did you read into that yesterday?
Just that they've set up to digital assets over there in Kazakhstan of all places. So, which is just like a bit random, really. But then, do Kazakhstan have links to Russia? I don't know.
That'll be that'll be the spin.
Maybe there's a gateway there for them into Russia or whatever. You never know. But yeah, that was about it from that. It was just seemed very random apart from that possible link, really. But that's just speculation, really.
All right. Is there anything else?
No, I think we've managed to do all right today.
It's because Alex isn't here. He just fucking waffles on.
I like the sound of his own voice. I'm only joking, Alex, mate. Don't worry.
I'm not.
But he'll be back next week at some point.
I hope it rains all week across the week.
I think he's all right. I think it's sunny now. So I'll just have to cry my own tears in Manchester.
All right. We've released a Tapioca Bull Thesis PDF in the newsletter. All you have to do to get it sent to your inbox is just refer a friend. Please refer a friend or a family member, and don't just like sign your dog or your cat up or something, because if those accounts don't open our newsletter, then it affects our open rate. So
if your cat isn't opening the newsletter, then it affects our open rate.
Yeah, if your cat's into kind of crypto and memes and shit like that, then it might actually like it and open it. But yeah, if you want to get your hands on that, just or you could just follow Dan Blocmates on Twitter, and he's got like a little short video of how to get hold of it. And yeah, we'll be streaming tonight a bit more market stuff and looking at some shitcoins, non-shitcoins, and everything in between. So yeah, thanks a lot, and we'll see you next time.
See you now.